Hi, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel. I am like your big sister of the internet, looking to go into your spaces and just help you refine, maybe rearrange, depending on your budget or where you're at with your move or your life, just helping make your space feel more inviting in a space where you feel cozy and super proud of. Our space is such a reflection of ourselves and where we're at in life. I think it's so important, and I want to help you create the most inviting space possible. So today I am going over to our male living space. I found a really nice Japandi minimal style apartment. He said he just moved in, and it just feels like there's a lack of separation and divide between the dining and the living room space, which I agree. And he also just doesn't feel like it feels very cozy yet. He has some ideas. I want to give my suggestions. Let's get into it. All right, so this is the post that I found. I think it looks like such a great space. So he just moved in. He said he's been taking things slowly, but it's really taking shape. I agree. Beautiful space, beautiful selection that you've got going on and that you're curating so far. I love the roundness that's included in this coffee table and the tray and the lamp. You've got a lot of just soft elements. The curtains really soften things. You've got a nice color with like this green couch and then the pop of orange. All in all, it's looking great. I know your concerns are this sort of large curtain wall and it just sort of feeling empty, not as cozy, sort of a lack of divide between the dining space and the living space. And I agree, and I definitely see some things that I would do. So I want to take you over to my designs, show you what I would incorporate for these to solve those problems. I also noticed that you said you do want to add a LED strip under the TV board. I personally don't love the look of that, so my vote is to not do that. However, if it's something that you love the look of and it'll make you feel really great in your space, then by all means do it. But I think for a more minimal Japandi style, that would throw me off personally in a space. But I do notice it looks like outside of the overhead lighting, you really only have this one little lamp. And usually you want to aim for at least three other sources of light outside of the overhead lights, because let's be honest, especially in the evenings, the overhead lights can be a bit overbearing and it can be really nice to add in some softer lighting solutions. I know that's what you were probably thinking with the TV lights, but if you can add in light or like lamps anywhere else, I would try that. However, if there's really no other solutions, then yeah, by all means move forward with the LED strip. But I just wanted to make that note because that's something that I couldn't really incorporate in the designs because I didn't really have other places to put lamps, but I wanted to make a note of that for yourself. So let's hop over. So once again, stunning space, great starting point. Here's what I did, and here, let me move my little face bubble. Here's what I did to make things feel a little bit cozier, more cohesive. So right off the bat, you can see that we have more of a room divide now. We've really made this dining area more of its own zone. And how you can really do that is by giving it its own rug. I don't think you necessarily need a super huge rug by any means. I just thought that this looked nice, but I think even just giving it like a solid thinner jute rug under there, anything just to give it its own quarters basically. And then I would just make sure to not choose a rug that looks similar to the living room rug, like get a different color, make it solid, or just so it doesn't look at all like the living room rug. You definitely don't really want them to be too similar, and you definitely don't want the room to feel too light or too beige. So I chose one that had some green accent just because I thought it could also look nice to take down a couple of the white curtains and add in some green curtains just on that door section at the end to make it really feel different and separate with the rug and that dining area. And I also thought it would be nice to add in some more height and some more vertical length there with that tree, and also have that tree be another bit of like a room divide. However, you also had this taller plant stand, and I wanted to move that. And if you didn't get a tree here, I think you could also move this taller plant stand over in this area too, and it would kind of do the same thing. So that's also an option, but that's how I would start to create more separation and visual separation between your spaces, while also keeping it feeling warm and cozy. And then I'm sure you also noticed I added in these Roman shades. I think these just add such a nice warmth and texture and really create that cozy feeling. So that way in the evenings you could always shut these, but then have the white floor to ceiling curtains sort of going around them. You don't necessarily have to have it all closed off in the white curtains all in one long strip, but then it can also, yeah, create some more texture and visual interest that way, which I think would be so nice. And also, even if you didn't get the green curtains, I think even just having these Roman shades and then having the white curtains sort of go around those nicely could look really nice. I just think for bonus points, having a color that ties in with the dining room rug will just really, really solidify that it's its own space. And I also thought it would be nice to get another one of these poofs that you have for seating. Just there's something kind of sad about one singular poof. I think, like you need to, that just also makes it feel a lot more inviting and cozy. And even if you can't find the exact same one, getting another one that really works with that one so that they feel like a pair, I think would be really nice. And then also, I took your advice about putting a bench on this wall. I do think that that's a good idea. It didn't look like you have a ton of space on this wall, and then you also have this window here. So I'm assuming you would need to do something a little bit more low profile. I wouldn't want to really add in more wood or anything too light, because you already have so much lightness and you already have quite a bit of wood, or at least like this kind of lighter wood with the wood floors, the wood table, the wood TV stand, and then also if you had some wood texture going on with the bamboo shade. So I thought adding in some black could be really nice and like really ground the space, because you do have some black or darker elements going on. So I thought continuing that there would be nice. And I thought maybe just adding a cushion for if people do come over, but then leaving part of it open, like, because this is a longer bench. Like, I think you could get a nice long low profile bench, but leaving part of it open is always kind of nice, because you could always use it as an end table, or you could like set books there or put another lamp or another plant. So I think that would be really nice. If you enjoyed this feedback, subscribe to my channel. I will post twice a week going through different men's spaces, giving y'all advice, helping my brothers out. And if you would like me to review your space specifically, you can submit your space on my link on my profile. So go ahead to my bio, submit your space. I can't wait to take a look and help you out. Thanks.